All right, stocks are pulling back as we head into the final hour of trading. The market, though, has had this upward bias, but it keeps meeting very rigid resistance. And, well, it's a serious battle. So what's going to take us over the top? I want to bring in Mahoney Asset Management President Ken Mahoney. Ken, I mean, the second time this week that the S&P broke through momentarily that key resistance point. It gave it up, and as soon as it gave it up, it pulled back sharply. And it feels like, there's a certain intensity here, particularly as we leave the leadership, the comfort of those tech names, and try to get leadership elsewhere. What are your thoughts on all of it?
Yeah, so it is actually positive that we're spreading out a little bit. Like, we're very tech-centric. We love those technology ETFs. We lead with that. But it is actually good not to rely on 5 or 6 stocks to make up the S&P 500. I think the wall that's created is really a Biden presidency, or the concern about a Biden presidency, quite frankly. Last week, what he said about the stock market and so forth, capital gains rate of 39.8%, and how would like Treasury Secretary Warren as a name, so to speak. So, you put it together, this runway is only 3.5 months from now, Charles, and I think it's getting a lot of people kind of nervous here. Now, maybe the market's factored in that maybe a Biden win, but the Republicans hold on to the Senate, so some check and balance. But I don't think the market's going to melt up until we get past the election.
So maybe sideways, because we are getting good data, right? And earlier in the show, I talked about, the manufacturing data, the housing data, and some of these other things that go underreported. Then moments ago, we heard Chipotle. That stock made a nice intraday reversal. They're hiring 10,000 more workers. They're handling that digital side of the business. So we've got pockets of strength in this economy, but maybe not enough, even with the vaccine news, to get us over the hump, just a sideways market into the election?
I think so. And, play the choppiness, though. I mean, we get a big whoosh down like we had a few weeks ago. Put some chips on the table. Again, we like the leadership. We like the NASDAQ. We like QQQ. ARKK is one good way. I think I mentioned that a few times on the show, of participating in Tesla with, part of the money, because, of course, ARKK buys innovation like SQ and Roku and so forth. But at the end of the day, again, that's going to be your leadership. We're always going to come back to leadership. Now, we saw Monday, by the way, the NASDAQ up 200 and it fell 200, right? So you start picking your spots. If you're nervous about technology, you can use a trailing stop loss order. Also, you can set some bids underneath the market here if the market gets kind of dicey yeah.
Well, some of those stocks can move at like 10% clips. I mean, what kind of stop loss are you going to use on them? And by the way, I hate getting stopped out of a stock and then 2 days later it's back to where it was at a new high.
Yeah, right. So our core holdings are QQQs, XLKs, again, mostly technology. We have 2/3 buy and hold. Don't mess with the stock odds, Charles. Don't do that, okay? But the other third, okay, we'll mess with the stock odds and we'll buy those dips like we had a few weeks ago. We'll sell into rallies incrementally. But you're right, those trailing stocks. But guess what? Everybody's good at buying something, Charles. On your show, some great stock ideas. Reading the newspaper, great stock ideas. But no one really has a sell discipline. I do think having a stop loss or trailing stop, maybe not all the shares, gives you some type of sell discipline. Right. And that's when lacking.
We got it. Ken Mahoney, ride those winners while they keep winning. Tech names keep going higher. Appreciate it, friend. My friend, also stop losses. Liz Clayman, the market's...